All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we have got a pretty spicy one. We got a pretty spicy one lined up for today with some red-green Oden. I do think that red-green Oden is going to be pretty decent into green-purple and blue-purple Luffy, and we're going to talk about that more in today's video. But let's go ahead and dive into it. Real quick, let me lay out the video so you know what you're getting into. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. After that, we're going to head over to the sim. We got 5 games lined up on the sim, and then we'll finish off by checking out the deck list one more time, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts on it moving forward. Okay, so let's do this, guys. I will have everything timestamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comments section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is sponsored by Nin Garden. Their summer kickoff sale is live, and they are offering 10 to 60% discounts across the entire store. So be sure to check that out, and don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an additional 5% off. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to go over the deck list. I'm going to leave the leader on the screen for a second here while I read that first. So for the newer players, this is what Red-Green Oden does. He is a 5,000 power, 4-life, red-green leader, Kazuki Oden, and it has, according to the rules, your character cards with the type Land of Wano without a counter have a 1,000 counter, okay? And then Dawn ×1, when attacking, if you have a cost 5 or greater Land of Wano character in play, this leader gets plus 1,000 power until the start of your next turn. So the leader effect is actually the main one to look at there. Let me move the leader screen now. The main thing about this leader is actually, I'm not going to lie, it really is both of those effects are very strong. The according to the rules effect to give your non-counter Land of Wano characters a 1k counter, that's really solid. But the second one is the most important one, the Dawn ×1 when attacking effect. As long as you have a cost 5 or greater Land of Wano character on the board and you attack with your leader with a Dawn attached, you're going to be swinging for 7,000, and then your leader's going to be 6,000 power on your opponent's turn. So that's going to allow you to counter out of some really big attacks and get around some stuff, you know, that a 5,000 power leader might not be able to get around. So, yeah, really good stuff there. Okay, I'm going to read through the deck list real quick, and then we'll talk about it. I'm running 4 Izos, 4 Yamato, 4 of the 2K counter Yamato, 4 of the new EB02 Rush Yamato, 4 Otama, the 2K counter that does minus 2,000 power, and then 2 of the 8-cost Dragon, 4 Beckman, 4 Hiyori, 4 Izo, 4 Momonosuke, the Searcher, 4 Denjiro, 4 Cat Viper, 2 Hody Jones, 2 Otama, and 4 You Can Be My Samurai. So the whole idea here is I'm trying to stay as true to Land of Wano as possible. Excuse me. And I hate to do like spoilers up front here, but I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I really want to go for Hody Jones in this deck list after my testing and after doing some testing with it. I think Hody Jones is just that strong of a card right now. It's always been a strong card, but if I do accidentally search over it, I can't really afford that, right? We don't want to search over Hody Jones. But this card is just a game winner in the current format. You just start slamming down these massive characters like Izo, Denjiro, Yamato. You start slamming down these massive characters, and then you drop down Hody Jones and you just close it out. It really is that straightforward. So because of that, one thing I do want to mention is the deck does struggle a bit against other decks that have very high removal. That's kind of always been Red-Green's downfall. Excuse me. You know, red-green is typically a very aggressive color combination. So if you don't have a way to protect your characters, like notice I'm not running Tashigi in here, which I don't think there's a reason to run Tashigi, by the way. It only protects green characters, so we couldn't even protect the Izo, the Yamato, the Dragon, or the Beckman. But it would protect Denjiro and Hody Jones, which is not nothing. You know, that is something. But at the same time, I don't think it justifies running in this list. But if you can't protect your characters, then red-green kind of struggles, right? Because they can just start clearing your board. There's nothing you can do. So there is that. So if the format ever becomes very removal heavy, because I still am very curious to see how the West chooses to deal with the green-purple and blue-purple, you know, Luffy, the Gum Giant conundrum going on right now in the format over in the East, because it's starting to head over to the West as well, and now we're getting access to OP11. Are the new starter decks going to be able to, how do I say it? Is it going to be able to shake things up enough, like getting access to these new starter decks? It could. We'll have to see what happens. But I do still expect to see quite a few green, purple, and blue, purple Luffys in the OP11 meta in the West. And I actually think into a very low removal format, Red Green Oden can probably do pretty well because it plays out some massive characters like 5-cost 7k Izos that have a really nice on-play effect. Make sure to pause and read this if you don't know what it does. With Denjiro standing up Dawn, we're getting tons of efficiency there. We're getting down Yamato, and guess what? It looks like, man, look at all these bricks we have. Look, 4, 8, 12, 16, and then, what, 20, 24 bricks in this deck? Not quite, because these 16 right here are actually not bricks, because you can trash them with the leader's effect to give a 1k counter if you need it. So again, you know, the way that this leader's set up and the way that this deck is, it stays very, very aggressive and it goes very tall. And for the most part, as long as nothing catastrophic goes wrong, your leader's probably always going to be a 6,000 power leader starting around turn 3. And sometimes, if you get the right curve, you can even start doing that on turn 2. So let me explain the ideal curve with this deck for those who have not seen it in action. What you want to do, typically speaking, is go second. I almost always want to go second unless I'm trying to take first away from somebody. And then, like, let's just talk about the perfect curve. Turn 1, Momonosuke, do some searching for whatever you need. Into turn 2, Hiyori. So on a 4-Dawn turn, you go Hiyori into Izo. It can cheat out an Izo, which gives your leader a Dawn, and then you get to swing for 7. And now you have a 6,000 power leader, and you have a 5-cost 7k on the board, and that was on turn 2 on a 4-Dawn turn, and then next turn you slam down Yamato, and now you're swinging for like 3 7s. It is a disgusting turn. Very, very powerful, and that's what we're going for, right? Hey, that's what we're going for. And not to mention, Izo is just an incredible card. That when opponent attack effect there, the once per turn when your opponent attacks effect, trashing one card and turning it into a 2k counter, that is really, really strong. And just understand, guys, that effect there says you may trash one card from your hand. So it can even be, it can be any of these cards, even like the non-land and one of cards. It can trash those from your hand to give a 2k, a minus 2,000 power debuff to a leader or character for the turn. And that is for the entire turn. So that really helps us into some of the, that's another thing that helps us into the purple matchup. If they're running the 6-cost 7k purple Luffy that attacks twice, well, we can actually, if we have Izo on the board, we can trash a card from our hand and give him a minus 2,000 power debuff, you know, until, let me see, it's for the turn. Give up, give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 2,000 power for this turn. So really powerful effect there on Izo. Okay, I think that's it, guys. So that's pretty much the deck list. We're running 4 of the Momo searchers. We have 2 of the Otama searchers. I'm running 10 2k counters, 4 of the red Otama, 2 of the green Otama, and then 4 of the Yamato. Actually, hang on, I'm also running 4 Izo, so I'm actually running 14 2k counters. Now, this Izo, we do want to be able to play down and rest stuff if we need to. That's fine. And this Yamato, we want to be able to play down if we don't see another 5-cost target to buff our leader. And it has Activate Main, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. So it does work perfectly with our Kazuki Oden. Just in case we don't see our Izo, or we don't see our Yamato, or our Denjiro, or whatever, this Yamato here can help us in that way as well. And of course, Otama, if we have to combo this with something like Beckman, or lowering the power of a character on the board, attacking into it with these massive 7,000 power characters, the Otama has utility. So while we are running a lot of 2k counters, they have a lot of utility as well. And we are running 4 blockers in the deck. This Cat Viper, remember guys, in this deck list, this is a 3-cost 4,000 power blocker with a 1k counter because of our leader's effect. So really good stuff there. Okay, that's enough yapping. Let's see what this deck can do. Let's see it in action. Okay, let's go full screen here. Let me bring my camera back to where it was, remove this leader screen again, and here we go. So first game up we have against Green Purple Luffy. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. I think you guys are going to kind of see this player, you know, our opponent, get pretty frustrated actually with this game. Okay, we are going first, and we're going to play out a Momonosuke. We're obviously just going to search up what we need to with that. We just get the best card we could there, which was the Yamato for sure. We're going to swing in for 7. They're just going to take it. Okay, that's fine with me. Let's see what they choose to do now. They're going to play out a Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. We are going to take that hit going down to 3. That was a little bit greedy. I think we actually should have 2k countered out of that, to be honest, guys. But here we go. We're going to play out the Kazuki Hiyori. Pause. Let me talk about another play line we have access to, guys. This would have been a really cool play if we had the Dawn for it, or excuse me, if we had the card. with this exact board state right here, with the 1 Dawn active and the Izo in hand, the Hiyori and all this, one play we could have had here, if we had it in our hand, was for 1 Dawn, play You Can Be My Samurai, resting down the Searcher and the Hiyori to draw 2 cards, and then we can still crack the Hiyori with their effect, playing out the Izo, giving a Dawn to our leader, and swinging in like that. But unfortunately, we did not have the You Can Be My Samurai. But it happens. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to hit play. Here we go. So we do play out the Izo here. I think we're just going to swing for 8 maybe. Actually, yeah, we're going to swing for 7, and then we're going to be able to use our Momonosuke. They take that hit. They're down to 2 life, guys, on turn 3. They're taking life very aggressively, but they do have a lot of cards in hand. They have a lot of cards in hand. They're going to play out the Sanji and Pudding. It's not going to be able to get the effect, of course, because they had more Dawn than us. Then they're going to use the leader effect afterwards. They're at 3 Dawn. They're at a very awkward spot right here. And they're just going to attack in for 7, guys. They're going to swing in for 7. We're going to trash a card from hand to do minus 2,000 to that card. And here we go. Let's see what they choose to do now. They're going to load up their leader for 8. I expected them to play something there, guys. I did expect them to play something there, but they didn't. That's fine. And now we can't really deal with that Sanji and Pudding just yet. But we're going to play out the Yamato, attach a Dawn. We're going to swing for 1 into 1 here. They let that go. We're going to swing for 7. We're going to swing for 7. They're 2K, 1K'ing out of that. We're going to swing for 7. They're down to 0 life, guys, and my board is massive. My board is massive. I'm a 6,000 power character. I have an Izo on the board, so even if they try some kind of shenanigans with the 6-cost Luffy, it's not going to go well for them, right? It's just not going to go well for them. Yeah, they end up just giving up, and I think they realize that. So their play this turn was going to be, okay, I'm going to play out the 6-cost Luffy. I mean, look at their hand, guys. They didn't even have another play. Like, realistically, they didn't really have another play. They have 8 Dawn for the turn. It was going to be play out the Luffy, and then they're going to be able to go, okay, you know, use the... Actually, hang on. I'm a 6,000 power leader, and I have the Izo down. So if they used Luffy, they'd have 2 Dawn left, and then use the leader effect, and that would actually put them at 5 Dawn active because of the Pudding, the Sanji and Pudding on the board. Well, here's the thing, though. They're going to have to use 2 Dawn to stand it up, so they can only make him into a 10,000 power character, and I can turn him into an 8,000 power character if I even needed to. But if he goes for that play, I'm just going to take those 2 hits to my face and not even care, and I'm just going to counter out of the other 2 because I have 2 life to play with, and I have a full hand. Guys, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12K counter in hand. I'm a 6,000 power leader, and honestly, I should have said 13K because of the Izo. So my opponent was in a lot of trouble there. There was no getting out of that, and that was if they were trying to attack into my face. If they attacked into my board, it would have been even harder for them to get rid of because those are 7,000 power characters. Good game to my opponent, but that's kind of what it comes down to with this deck. And if we had, and say they were going to try to play defensive this turn, if they wanted to try and play defensive this turn, that's where a Hody Jones would have been massive. Now, we didn't have one, but I'm just saying that's where it's like, okay, maybe we do need to go up to 4 Hody Jones, so keep that in your mind as we're going through these games. Okay, that was the first game. That was against a green-purple Luffy. Next up, we have a game against purple Katakuri. Okay, so the volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Here we go. Purple Katakuri is no joke. Okay, so don't think that this is a freebie, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this game is a banger. This is not a game to skip out on. They're going to go 5 in a Momonosuke. I do a search with it. They're going to play out a Brûlé, taking their own life to ramp a Dawn, playing out a Pudding, doing some searching. I'm going to play out Hiyori, cheating out Izo, swing for 7. And this is a very good start for both players right now. Like we're in a very good position here. They're going to play out the Parasparrow. They're going to swing for 6. They're going to buff it to 7 with the leader effect, and they're going to know the top card of my deck now. That's going to let them cycle a card with the Parasparrow, ramping a Dawn. They're going to play out the Searcher. They're going to fix their hand a little bit, and here we go. We're on a 6 Dawn turn, and we're in a situation now where we have to keep trying to fill out this board. We're going to play out the Hiyori and the Momonosuke. I'm going to use You Can Be My Samurai. Then I'm going to cheat out the Izo with the Hiyori. I'm going to smash in for 7 here and 7, and they're down to 1 life. They are going to hit us with a Hakai Ocean Sovereignty and rip both of my 5-cost Izos off the board. That was devastating, guys. That was absolutely devastating. That is not what we wanted to see. They're going to play out Charlotte and Nana here to get a blocker on the board, which is going to slow us down nicely. They're going to swing for 6 here. They're not going to use their leader effect. I think they should have, by the way. There is no reason not to use leader effect when you have the Charlotte Parasparrow on the board, because you get to ramp the Dawn right back and cycle a card from your hand, and they have like 8 cards in their hand, guys. 8 cards in hand. Okay, but they're down to 1 life, and we've not seen a single 2K counter. So that is starting to, like, raise some alarms in like it's starting to raise some red flags in my head. So right here we're gonna do the same exact play as last turn, where we play out a Hiyori and then we use a Momonosuke to go ahead and get what we need from this. Right, we're gonna using the Yukabi my Samurai, then cracking the Hiyori, playing out the Izo, and here we go. We're gonna swing for 9. I knew they were gonna block no matter where we went. Excuse me. I knew they were gonna block pretty much no matter where we went, and I did want to get that blocker out of the way, just in case they try to play out a, if they try to leave Dawn open and play out a Katakuri, the 8-cost purple blocker Katakuri. They're going to play out another Parasparrow. They're ramping Dawn like crazy. They're cycling through their deck now. They're playing very well. They're going to swing 4 into 0. They can have that. I'm going to minus 2,000 to the Parasparrow just to discourage him from attacking, and he's not going to now because he doesn't have enough attack for it. 5 into 6, sure. Okay, they do use their leader effect here, and I think I am going to counter out of this. I had to think about this for a minute. It's like, am I going to go for lethal next turn? Because, guys, going for lethal is not out of the question right now, believe it or not, because they just dumped their entire hand. I'm like, where are their 2K counters? And I'm starting to think they don't have any. And I decided right here, I said, you know what? I'm actually just going to call their bluff here. I don't think they have 2K counters, because they would not have gone down to 1 life so aggressively. At least not in my mind. I don't think they would have gone down to 1 life so aggressively. So watch this play right here, guys. Watch this. We're going to slam down Hody. We're going for it. Okay, slam down the Hody. We're going to, I have to do a little bit of math here. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's going to be swing 7, 9, 10, or 7, something else, right? So I swing for the 7, and did you see that, guys? He gave me 2 1K counters. I said, okay, well, it's over now. So hang on. Let me go back real quickly, guys. When I swung for 7 here, watch what he counters out with. Swing for 7. He does leader effect, 1K, 1K. To get out of that, he has two cards left in hand. I said, okay, you don't have it, dude. I swing for 8, and then we're going to swing for 9. GG to my opponent. That was a rough one. We had to make it a read on the go there, and we had to also hope that he wasn't bluffing, and that was pretty much our only chance, because we were going to lose next turn. Next turn, we were gone, guys. We were not surviving next turn, no matter what, because they had a 7K, a 7K, an 8K, an 8K, their leader attack, and a 10-cost 12K coming in. There was no way out of it. There was no way out of next turn. Good game to my opponent, and guys, sometimes you have to make that read whenever you're running an aggro deck. That's where the little bit of, how do I say this, like, you have to be able to read what your opponent's doing, and it still might not matter, by the way. They still might have all the answers they need, but in certain situations, you have to make a read, and that might be your only chance to win the game, is by seeing one small window of opportunity to go for it, or otherwise you just lose. So, yeah. All right, good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. Next up, we have a game versus Blue Purple Luffy. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Guys, this is another game where you're just going to see my opponent get frustrated. And I think that's what Red Green Oden kind of does to Blue Purple Luffy. Okay, they're going to play out Gear 2 to get out of my 8K attack. Seems good. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to take it. We could have countered out, but we're not going to waste that right now. They play out a Zoro. That's a little annoying. We can't really do much about that. And we actually have a very slow pull this game, guys. We did not get a Hiyori. We did not get a 5-cost Izo. So here we go. We're going to play out the Denjiro just on curve here. And no attack on our turn 2. They swing in. They ramp a Dawn. They swing in. We're going to 2K, 1K to get out of that. Using a card with no counters of 1K. Seems good. We'll take it. And here we go. I am playing out the Yamato. I'm going to give a Dawn there. I'm going to swing in for 8. I have to do a little bit of math here. I'm like, wait a minute. We just got a Dawn for free there. I'm going to get 2 Dawn here. So it looks like we're going to swing for 8 3 times. Swing 8, swing 8, swing 8, and I don't care about that little Zoro Juro anymore. That Zoro does not matter to me anymore, guys. They're on 8 Dawn already, so why would I care? Okay. They set their cards. You know, they draw a card for the turn. They set a card. They're going to push one of our cards back with Charlotte Lin. They push back the Denjiro, which was definitely the right choice. They swing for 4 to ramp a Dawn back. They're going to swing for 7. We're probably just going to tap. Actually, we might counter out, so we have one more turn after this, just in case we don't win on lethal right here. But right here, I think we're just going to poke in. Maybe, look at this, guys. We're just going to go for it. We're like, you know what, dude? You didn't counter those first 2 attacks. We're just going to go super aggressive here. We're going to swing 8, swing 8, swing 8 again. Let's see if you have it. And guys, even if he does have it, we're not losing on the crackback, right? Like there's no way we're losing on the crackback. They didn't even have it. They didn't even have it there. And what were they going to do? If they swing for 8 if they swing for 9 into 8, I'm 2K countering out of that. If they swing 9 into 7, I'm 2K 1K'ing out of that. And then they only have, that's all they can do for the turn if they still want to play out their Sanji into whatever and keep one up for Gum Gum Giant. And now I'm just smashing in for more and more and more every single time. And even if they did play out that Katakuri on top of their deck right there, or on top of their life, even if they did play that card out, I have the Ben Beckman and Otama in hand to just move that blocker out of my way. Trash it, get it out of here, and now I'm swinging in for more 8s, right? It's just... I'm telling you guys, I do think that this deck has a very, very good chance into decks that are relying on Gum Gum Giant to survive. Okay, next up we got a game versus Red Purple Luffy. Good game to my opponent, by the way. That was a good game there. Swinging for 8Ks that much, that fast, that early against Blue Purple Luffy is a nightmare for them, guys. Same thing with Red Purple Luffy as well. So we're going to go second. We play out the Momonosuke. We do some searching. They're going to smash into it. They're using Punk Vice to ramp Dawn, I think that was. Seems good. We're going to swing in for 6. We're going to play out the Cat Viper and their turn. They're already up to 7. Dawn on turn 3 going first. Seems good. And here we go. We're going to play out the Yamato. We're going to give a Dawn to our leader for free with the effects. We're swinging him for 7. We're swinging him for 7. We're a 6K leader now. We have a blocker. They're down to 5 cards in hand and 2 life, and their board is not exactly spectacular. They're going to swing for 8 into 6. We're actually just going to take that. They're going to play out the Eustace Captain Kidd. They're ramping Dawn, swinging for 8 more. I think I'm going to give him a 2K, 1K here, or a 2K and a Cat Viper maybe. Give him the Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman's not going to be that great here. We'll go 4 into 1. They let that go. And I have a lot of Dawn I can play with this turn, guys, because of that Yamato. That Yamato's activate main effect can happen every single turn, guys. You can use that every single turn. So here we go. We're going to swing for 8. And then I think we're going to swing for 8. And we're going to play out another Cat Viper. We're going to say, all right, we're just going to go next turn on you. They play out the 10-cost Luffy. They're going to swing 8 into face. I'm actually going to, it looks like I do make a play mistake here, guys. I do minus 2,000 to that, and then I hit him with a 1K counter. And then they swung for 6, and I was like, wait a minute. Oopsies. I didn't know they were going to, I thought they were going to try to go for my board or something, and I don't know what I did, but I freaked out there, guys, and I totally wasted those cards. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just had to counter out. I should have only had to waste one card that turn when I wasted 2. Not a huge deal, but guys, we're going to swing for 8 a lot of times here. Swing 8. Swing 8. You guys see what's going on here? Swing 8. There's Gum Gum Giant. Okay, swing 8 into, or swing 9 into 8. Let's see if he has the counter. Okay, he does not. Your turn. So let's see. And by the way, they had to use so many Gum Gum Giants there, guys. They were down to 9 Dawn, or I think they were down to 6 Dawn. They went up to 8. They ramped to Dawn for the turn with the Luffy, I believe. And here we go. They're going to swing in for 8. We're just going to counter out. We'll take this last hit. And that's a wrap, guys. That's game. GG to my opponent. But again, once you start getting all these characters down there, 7,000 power, it becomes very easy to swing for 8K into 6. It becomes very, very easy to do that. Okay, and notice these are very, very fast games, guys. These are very fast games. So if you like to just play quick, move on. Hey, win fast, lose fast. I'm right there with you. I know how that goes, guys, especially when it comes to making content. I love these fast decks. These fast games are wonderful. Okay, we got one more game. We got a game versus Blackbeard. How does the deck do against removal? And the answer is it does struggle against decks with very high removal. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. But I will say this, I do think the Lucci matchup will be brutal. So if you expect to see a lot of Luccis in your area, a little bit of caution there, right? I'm just going to give you guys a word of caution. Be careful with that. So we're going to swing for 6 into 5. They just played out a 2K counter, the stronger card there. We're going to play out the Momonosuke. We're going to do some searching with it. And it looks like I favored the Denjiro there over the Yamato. I think the Yamato would have been the better call, to be honest, but I guess Denjiro's nice on curve here if we need to play this out. I like having 2 different options here, going into this next turn, because now I can go, Hiyori, throwing out Denjiro, and then also putting a Dawn on my leader if needed, right? Or even using the You Can Be My Samurai. It opens up some other options. And they chose not to do an on-play effect. They chose to not use their leader effect to do the on-plays. So we're going to play out the Izo. Guys, did y'all see what happened there? That was a very fast, calculated play. Let me hit play, and I'm going to pause it and see what you guys would do in this situation here. I have 5 Dawn. They did not turn off my on-play effects with their leader because they only have 5 cards in hand. Okay, so what we end up doing here, pause and try and figure it out if you did not see the play already. But for 5 Dawn, we're going to play out the Hiyori and then pay 1 for the You Can Be My Samurai to rest down my Otama and my Hiyori, and then play out the Izo to give a free Dawn on play to my leader so I can swing in for 7. If he had turned off the on-play effects, I probably would have used this turn here to establish my Denjiro instead, so I get access to more Dawn on my following turn if it survives. Okay, so that was the logic there. Okay, here we go. So we're going to play out the Hiyori. We're going to You Can Be My Samurai to draw 2 cards, cheating out the Izo with the Hiyori's effect. We're going to swing for 7. We're a 6,000 power leader now. Let's see what he wants to do. My opponent's about to be in a very rough, they're going to be in a sticky situation here, right? They are on a 6 Dawn turn. They're going to start off by playing out Doc Q. Let's see what they choose to do next. So they have, notice I'm going over the, I'm mousing between the Stronger and the Doc Q. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do. So they just used the Hachinosa stage there or full of lead, I think is what it's technically called, to do some filtering. And I think they use stronger, and I think they have a black hole in hand. They did reveal that earlier. Yeah, it's called Liberation on the sim, but so is the 6-cost one. I believe that card, the 4-cost removal card, should be called Black Hole. Okay, so they get rid of my card there. They swing for 5. We just ignore it because we're a 6K leader. Now we're going to play out the Ben Beckman swinging for 5. Ben Beckman trashes characters. It does not KO them. So that Borsalino's ability to not be KO'd, we don't even care about it. And it was a 6,000 power character. Bye-bye, right? We're getting rid of that. They need to start using their leader effect more to turn on their own plays. I understand. They only have 4 cards in hand. It's like, well, what do you expect them to do? Go down to 1 or 2 cards in hand? The answer is yes. You have to start going down. Guys, when it comes to Marshall D. Teach, using the leader effect is probably the most important thing you could possibly do, because I have plays in my hand that I can use with on play, or I have, effects that don't matter if you turn off my on plays or not, right? So it's like you can't really play around it for the most part against certain decks. So, let me say it like this. When in doubt, just use the leader's effect, guys. Just use it. And here we are again. He did not use the leader effect, so we're probably just going to smash it. I'm doing a little bit of math here. I'm going to swing for 6 and a 5. That was a play mistake because I forgot I did not have a Lando Wano character down. Oh, it didn't matter. I wasn't going to use that. Beckman to get rid of his Van Augur. We trashed it. He did not get to draw a card from that. We played out that you can be my samurai. We're drawing cards. Go ahead, attacking on my board if you want to. Okay. He plays out the Marshall D. Teach here. I don't think that's going to help him, right? I do not think that's going to help him. Look how big his hand size is now once he started taking hits. That's what you have to do as Marshall D. Teach, guys. Do not be scared to take hits. They did not use their leader effect again. I'm swinging in for 5. Now, this time it was just a play mistake, guys. This was the turn I was thinking of. Last turn was technically not a play mistake because I wasn't going to buff my leader at all. But this turn I could have, and I just messed up. So I swing for 7. That's fine. We're going to play out the Hiyori. We're going to use the... Yet again, that was another play mistake there. I don't know why I didn't use the you can be my samurai on the Hiyori plus the Ben Beckman. Well, whatever the case is, I should have done it in that order. It probably won't matter too much in this specific board state, but it was still technically a play mistake. Okay, so they're going to play out another Borsalino. This is an interesting Marshall D. Teach list here, where they're running the Borsalinos. I have not actually seen that, and I don't think Borsalino is a great card, guys. Hear me out. Even into the black matchup, like for example, if you're playing against Blackbeard, they're just going to hit it with a black hole that just erases it negates their effects. So they're not going to be able to prevent the KO. I don't think Borsalino's in the best position right now, but against certain decks, it is very solid. But red has Beckman, black has red has Ben Beckman trashing characters, black has black hole. Blue has bounce, purple and green have ways to rest down the character. I just don't think Borsalino is the card it used. It's not the same card it used to be. It's better than nothing. It's better than having nothing out there. But at the same time, I don't know if it's the right call for Blackbeard. They're going to go ahead and tap out, guys. They tapped out a little bit early. I'm still at 3 life. My board is monstrous. And next turn, we're just, whether they use their leader effect or not, it doesn't matter. Next turn, we're slamming down the Monkey D. Luffy, and we're smashing in for like 4 or 5 8s. You know, 4 8s. No, I think 5 8s, guys. They're just in so much trouble. Okay, good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. All right, that's it, guys. Like I said, these games were extremely fast on the sim. Red-Green Oden, it pumps, guys. This deck absolutely slaps. It pumps. This is a very fun deck to play. Now, one thing I want to mention is I do think I want to go up for Hody Jones. In all my playtesting, I did not use Dragon even one time. I would rather this just be 2 more Hody Jones, to be honest. Because if I can start chaining Hody Jones together, yeah, sure, I will start losing life in the process. Oh, well, right? Hey, it is what it is. You do what you got to do. And against the Blackbeard matchup, if they turn off my own play effects, I don't have to lose life. Now, I won't be able to rest anything down, but I won't lose life either, so that's fine. That's a trade-off I'm willing to make. Denjiro was solid in here, so is Izo. Cheating these out with the 4-cost Hiyori, that is the bread and butter of this deck. You're trying to go second, get a searcher out early if you can between the Momonosuke or the Otama. Otama's not great in here, guys, because please read this card carefully. You cannot search up red Land of Wano cards. Green only. So I'm not a huge fan of this card in the deck, but it's in there for now just so we have something there. What else? I think that's really about it that I was going to say about the searching. Yeah, so the searching, Momonosuke is your main searcher, playing that out on turn 1, going second, using it. Let him attack into it. If he wants to attack into the Momonosuke, be our guest. We just want to get that 1 search off to find one of these 3 pieces, the Hiyori, actually 4 pieces. You want to find either the Hiyori, the Denjiro, the Izo, or the Yamato, okay? And you really just need 3 of those pieces. Make sure you have the Hiyori, make sure you have the Denjiro or the Izo, one of those, and then make sure you have the Yamato follow-up, and that's what you're trying to do with this deck every time going second. So you have a nice 2, 4, 6 curve, and it is lightning fast. It is very, very aggressive. it's perfect, right? Now, you only need one of these, Izo or Denjiro. That's the main thing you're looking for, because make sure, let me say it like this, when you're doing your search with Momonosuke, let's say you have a Denjiro in your hand and a Yamato, and then when you do a top 5 search, you see Izo in there, a 2K counter, you can be my Samurai, and a Hiyori. You grab the Hiyori, right? Because you just want to make sure you can play out on curve the Hiyori to cheat out the Denjiro you already had in your hand in that example to go right into the Yamato. So always go for one of those 3 that you don't have. As long as you have, you know, what you're searching for with the Momonosuke is the missing piece. So, for example, if you don't have Yamato, but you have one of the 5 costs and the Hiyori, you grab the Yamato. If you have the 5 cost and the Hiyori, but you don't have the Yamato, you go for that. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, that's basically the main idea there. And everything else, the deck kind of plays itself, guys. This is a deck list that I did whip up together real quickly. This is not fine-tuned. Don't think that this is like a perfect one here. Guys, the list could use plenty of improvements, okay? If you have any, by all means, share them in the comment section below. I also don't think we need 4 Ben Beckman. I think I only used this in the last game against Blackbeard, and that was that should have been the one game I shouldn't even have been able to use it. But my opponent was, you know, they were up against the ropes. They were countering out so aggressively that they couldn't even turn off my own play effects. You know, they'd be at like 2 or 3 cards in hand. So yeah, something to look out for there. And that might be it, guys. That's really all I have to say about this. I do think this deck list will get even better in OP12. And I do think there are also some cards we can add that we can really consider adding that could be very good for the list. Maybe like 5-cost Smoker or something like that. Just more 5-cost threats. Now, we can only cheat out a land of Wano type character. But, hey, I mean, who cares? I mean, you know, Smoker's just a good card, right? The 5-cost 7K Navy Smoker card, it's just a good card. Maybe we run a few of those in the deck. It'll help against the yellow matchups, you know, by burning up their life and getting around triggers. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I have for y'all today. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, by all means, please don't hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. I'm very curious to see what people think about this. And I have to say, let me mouse over the leader one more time. Guys, this leader pumps right now. And if you expect to go against a lot of green, purple, and blue, purple Luffy, you can make even more, like even further adjustments. Maybe even add a few electrical Lunas in the list. I mean, I don't think that's out of the question. Maybe like 2 or 3 electrical Lunas. And yeah, maybe a few more Hody Jones, like I was saying. And I think this list is going to be very, very solid into this OP11 meta. We'll have to see what happens. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get the outro page on here real quick. There we go. Guys, if you're supporting my channel in any way, shape, or form, guys, I mean, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG player affiliate link, if you're supporting me through donations on Patreon or PayPal, or if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, part of the Discord, whatever it is, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Red Green Oden I hadn't played in a long time, but it felt good to bust this deck back out again into a format where there wasn't as much crazy, like, all-out removal like what we've seen in the past. So, again, I'm going to say it one more time. In a format where there's very low removal, Red Green Oden is kind of a beast, guys. He's kind of a beast. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Until next time, guys. Peace.